Hello Scorpio, this is a timeless reading for you. I'm using my own tarot cards, my medieval oracle card deck. In the middle of your spread we have the moon card, which in my deck is different from the classic moon card. Around the moon card we have the snake, the maiden, the fairy and the queen. There are a lot of feminine figures here in your reading. When I created the snake card, I actually didn't think of any gender, but I perceive it intuitively as a feminine energy in your specific spread today. The moon card is anyway always a very feminine energy in my deck, and of course the queen, the maiden and the fairy, they can also represent men in your life, or if you're a man they can represent your own inner qualities. And yeah, even though all of these cards are super feminine right now to me, which does not have to mean that if you're a man, this reading doesn't apply to you. Also, how this reading feels to me, it is very, very spiritual in a very comfortable and soothing way. You know, sometimes on our spiritual path, on our learning and understanding, we have to go through very tough and painful lessons, through a lot of darkness, especially with the snake. The snake can represent some secret knowledge, and secret knowledge often is like some kind of knowledge about evil that not everyone has, you know, and it's very hard and frightening to go through these energies, to face these things. But this is the other side of the spiritual journey, you know. Sometimes it can also be very harmonious, very freeing. Like, I think it differs. It goes through different stages. Sometimes we have this very rough learning path again for a few months, and then we get a break, and then we go to the soft side of spirituality again, which you will tap into that soon. This is a very, very feminine spiritual energy. It is very motherly, and I feel like even if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, or it's just, you will tap into your own spiritual feminine energies very strongly, and you will find some kind of mothering qualities within yourself, no matter how old you are, how young you are, especially, I mean, whether you're whatever gender you consider yourself, you will tap into that motherly energy inside of yourself, and it feels like, on one hand, being a mother to yourself, not relying on any external person to give you that sense of motherly protection, but to be able to feel that within you, so you don't need it from the outside, which is very beautiful and very, it's just very independent, and in that sense it's a relief. Feeling deeply within yourself that you do not need anyone on the outside to give you that feeling. Also, I want to include the card with the snake now again. The snake looks very friendly to me today, so she does not appear as a false snake or a seductive snake. This is a good snake. This is a snake of spirituality. This is a snake of healing, you know. This is a snake of secret knowledge, necessary secret knowledge, that you, together with the moon card, which is also spiritual, which is intuition, which is also a kind of spiritual knowledge, those two cards together, they promise that for this time. The fairy and the maiden, They feel quite young to me right now. This could either be two young women or men around you that you might feel responsible to. This could even be that if you have two sisters, this is, let's say, you are 40 years old and you have a 30-year-old sister and a very much younger sister that is just, I don't know, 16 or 17. There's something about, for some of you, this reading, it's about like you wanting to mother someone or several people. You being able to give, even if those are not your own children, even if you don't have children and you don't want to have children, you could feel that within you, that you want to share those motherly qualities of yours with people. It could even be that you work in some kind of social sector and you will utilize that gift, that beautiful quality of yours there. I also certainly get this sense that the Maiden card, she's looking so surprised and shocked a little bit. And let's just say she's looking this way at the moon, at this beautiful, spiritual, feminine energy, with this astonishment, with these wide and open eyes, like, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine that this exists. And then this could be you. As you know, the Maiden card in my deck, she can stand for inexperience, for youth, for learning, apprenticeship, school, study. But even if you have grown out of this age, even if you are 65 years old, you can still find yourself in this maiden-like position where something is just, where you will suddenly get to know something that you have never been able to even imagine that it exists, and then you will feel like this inexperienced young girl or boy, looking with shock, not a negative shock, but with this huge eyes at this very vast quality, presence, whatever, energy. This could even be a very strong spiritual awakening. We have the Queen card here on top. This could also be your energy, you tapping not only into something very motherly, but also something very in some kind of boss energy, in a good way, because you know the Queen can come up in a negative sense, but it doesn't in your case. So she's authoritative, but she doesn't misuse that authority and power. So she is not exploitative, but caring and responsible. She is in some way also like a mother, but a little more impersonal, because she doesn't know every single of her subjects personally in her castle and the spheres around her castle and the towns and the villages. You know, all the different layers of the Middle Age society here as a metaphor. She doesn't know all the single subjects, but she understands the structures of society, and she wants to take care of all the structures equally. So she is like a mother to, if she's a good queen, she's like a mother to a huge crowd, and she cannot possibly know each single person personally in that crowd, whereas a mother knows all her children. If she's a good mother, she can look into her children. Maybe during teenage time it's hard for mothers to always see through their children, but you probably know what I mean. So this is also some kind of motherhood. Like there is so much femininity here. If you're a man, as I said, this could also talk about your own energies that you will find in yourself, but it could also just be someone around you. It could be your partner or someone you might meet in the near future. It could be your literal mother, like that there is a deepening or improvement of that kind of relationship, or you will be able to really deeply and profoundly connect to some kind of feminine energy or literally a woman around you, deepening a friendship or partnership. Yeah, that's actually the main topic of your reading. I don't know why this is coming up, but this is what I'm seeing in your cards. And you might hopefully then find out what this specifically means to you. At the bottom of the deck, weirdly enough, we have the sun, and I'm saying it's weird because the sun is a very masculine energy in my deck specifically. You know, that's how I drew those cards, intended them to be, like the moon representing the feminine, spiritual, original energies, and the sun being the masculine energy. And you know, it's not like directly part of the reading of your spread, but it is at the bottom of the deck, so there is something very masculine that is probably shining onto all this femininity, something that is working in the background, embracing this femininity. Wow, if you are a man, it could also literally just mean you embracing your, like, developing and evolving, maturing your own masculine energies, and then being very open to embrace your feminine qualities. It also reminds me of the harmony between feminine and masculine, which for centuries, thousands of years, millions of years probably was a huge problem, and especially human nature. Huge problems between men and women, or feminine and masculine. Like there is something about that as well, that there is something harmonious that just comes to a completion. Very nice. So I'm just gonna leave it here. Keep it short and simple. I hope it resonates with someone. Thank you for watching.